How did Kevin O'Leary come to the project?
So Ronnie and I wrote this character.
Because he's great. I love him, by the way.
He's
so
a corporate
good.
colonialist, or the first of its kind of post-war carpetbagger, eternal power. You know what I mean? Scary, timeless power that's been around for as long as capitalism's been around. So I was looking at actors. I met with a few. They just were never going to bring what was needed. And Ronnie and I were talking a lot about this character as we wrote it. So I called Ronnie and I was like, what about Shark Tank? And he goes, Mr. Wonderful. Yes, Mr. Wonderful. He goes, that's the only guy we can use off that show.
Yeah, right.
Because he is an asshole. He's a known asshole. He anchors the show.
Yeah.
He's an artist though. He started off as an artist.
Oh, okay.
He edits his own material. He has beautiful cameras that he likes. He loves lenses. He plays the guitar. Very unique, interesting person.
Okay.
And then we went and we met with him over the course of a day. He had the script in his living room, and he had some house guest who had read it twice already, and who was like a probably businessman or something. And that guy loved it, and Kevin loved the script.
Nice.
And then when I met with him, he came up with that vampire line. He came up with it because we were meeting with him, and we were trying to figure out how would Kevin O'Leary react to this kid saying to him that money doesn't matter to him. There are other things that are more important. This is fate in front of him. Yes. And he goes, I would never do anything that could ever implicate me in any other way. So I would use the dark arts. And I was like, oh man, like how? Yeah. And he just said, like, I would look to him and I'd say, Marty, I was born in 1601. I'm a vampire. And I look at Ronnie and we're like, oh my God.
I actually...
what a line. But you saw him, I can't remember saying this, you would see him go through... He comes in, as you imagine, he's an amazing salesman. He turns that shop into the most successful shop on Orchard Street. Yes. He changes it to Marty's Mauser Shoes, Marty's Mauser Shoes, franchises. Yeah. Franchises again, leaves New York State, becomes a very rich man. All the metrics of success are there. His family grows, he leaves the city, has this beautiful house, and it ends with him at a concert, which is with his granddaughter. They're great seats. Up front, and he's watching it, and he's thinking about everybody wants to rule the world and youth, and what does it mean? And he has this success, but he's not doing the thing that he believed he was born on planet to do. But he has all this great stuff around. He has these great things around him.
Interesting.
And you're on his eyes. We built the prosthetics for Timmy and everything, and Mr. Wonderful shows up behind him and takes a bite out of his neck, and that was the last thing.
Oh my!